Yes, indeed. Mine's take a little bit time before it goes because of the internet connection, but we're going to get things going the best way possible. We are out here the final day that they allow these civilians like us in practice or at practice, you know?
Yeah.
So what you looking for, bro?
Well, today I'm going to be just more so looking for clues. Obviously, this is not going to be a serious practice to where we're going to really see a lot of action from the guys. It's going to be likely walk through speed. We've been out here multiple times. Like, listen, y'all, Law and I always finish this out. We finish it out. This is what we do every year.
Every year.
So it's going to be like last year where we know Mike McCarthy's pattern. It's going to be walkthrough-ish, but I'm going to be looking for the lineups, the matchups, who coming out there with the ones, you know, how they rotating, what are their packages.
Yeah.
It's going to be that type of stuff. That's what I'm going to be looking for.
Most certainly. So is this going to be simple walkthrough? Hope everybody can stay well and healthy. Hey, prayers out to Durden family. I know, I get it. They call him Project X. He failed out last practice.
Yeah.
And you can see, like, the other player looking at that like, man, prayers up to him. But this opportunity is getting slim.
And sadly, he was starting to turn up slightly. Like, he was making the case. You know, obviously, receiver 1, 2, 3, 4. That's pretty solid now. But, you know, it's guys that's still performing for the league. They trying to get jobs elsewhere. They trying to get the practice squad. Yeah, it's just unfortunate. So it's one of those things to where, you know, we hope the best for them and just come back like you finished because you was balling.
Well, before we go into more Cowboys training camp, there are some news that did hit earlier, some breaking news. Isaiah Simmons, he's now picked up by the New York Giants, and I'm seeing that there's a merger. Giants fans and Eagles fans talking about beat Dallas week 1. Do us a favor, beat Dallas week 1. That's fair talk.
Nah, we got to take them Giants serious.
You got to take that serious.
Yeah, we got to.
Lord Brunson, you know who we are over here. We heard what you said now.
What did he say?
He said, beat Dallas, because they went and got Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the Giants.
I mean,
we don't play the Eagles till week 9, by the way. We ain't worried that they got Isaiah.
No.
We ain't worried.
So the Giants got Isaiah Simmons.
The Giants got Isaiah Simmons.
Well, listen, like, I never sleep on a division.
No.
I never sleep on a division despite that. And so when I look at the Giants and I size them up as an opponent, well coached. Finish strong. Have the character. Now they starting to build the weapons. They not close to our talent level.
They not.
So I mean, no fear, but respect.
Respect. And I look at it like this. Mike McCarthy, he's going to walk in there without a shot of a doubt, knowing that he swept those boys last year with the backup quarterback and with Dak Prescott, by the way. Single-handedly handed those boys that L. So when we headed in, the reason why I say that this is a pivotal game week 1, and I'm not trying to overlook the Raiders. For those who are out here ready for the Raiders for preseason game, that's something down the line.
Right.
But this game right here is so important because this is a divisional game. And we want to start off fast because divisional games, you win your division, you get into the playoffs. And we know how the importance it is to win your division games because, believe it or not, the Eagles were only 1.5 game ahead of us last year. So we took care of business. We could have been the number 1 seed. We could have been at home throughout the majority of the playoffs. So I look at this divisional game that, like you said, Brian DeBall, he's well coached. It's a well coached team. But this is a I'm not going to say must win game, but this is a game that we've got to be ready and be prepared.
I love must win. I love your verbiage on that. Like, our division almost had 4 people in the playoffs. Washington was right there. They fumbled the bag at the end.
They did.
If they would have closed out like they could have and should have, so now it's a must win, and it goes into the debate of should they play the starters and all that kind of stuff. I've been actually thinking about that more and more. I think it's actually riskier to kind of play your starters.
No doubt.
And the reason why I finally came to that, I was looking at the fact that we have a fragile offensive line. So you have a Steele that you likely rushed back. Let's be honest, he likely was rushed back. He looks phenomenal running. but he's going to have to push men. Mm-hmm. And do you want Dak out there with backup tackles?
Nah.
I'm sorry, preseason is not that important.
It's not.
Because I also witnessed, as you've witnessed yesterday, what did Dak look like when all 5 of those guys was out there?
Poised. He looked real good.
That pocket was, listen, Dak could have fell asleep in that pocket yesterday.
He could have, right. So if in that pocket.
Unless they go come out there, all of those guys, and then Tyron Smith, do you want to play him in preseason? I don't think so.
I get your logic on that. I get you
in
a meaningless game.
Yeah.
You
got to aggressively pitch cap those guys.
But what they say, what's good for the goose, good for the gander, right? Yep. So we taking week 1 as a warm-up game. We looking at that as the starters' preseason game.
Yep.
And that is the situation, whereas we sitting back like, okay, we don't know what the Cowboys going to look like. We can only have speculation.
Right.
And for what I can see, from the tangible eyes out here at practice and out there in Oxnard, you see the differences because you got a chance to talk to the offensive coordinator, Brian Schottenheimer.
Yeah, we talked to him.
Go ahead and break that down for the people, man.
Good point. Yeah,
the things that we can share.
The things we can share. So this is the thing. Law and I, we concluded the show 2 days ago, finishing up, walking out right here. Brian Schottenheimer just walking right to us.
Right.
So we being where we are. We small talking with Brian.
Yep.
And I said, hey, so it's a lot of people that they're questioning, your philosophy of not bringing in, separate teams like you did last year.
Right.
I said, so the theory that I'm assuming that y'all rocking with is that y'all defense is so good.
Right.
That why bring in somebody else that's going to be a 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 15th ranked defense when you really know you're dealing with right now like the top 3 defense. You go get your best work with your own.
You guys heard that, right? And I see Coach Marv. Did he send you that article? About teams, pretty much with the joint practices.
Yeah.
And how they're looking and things like that. So, I think we got more evaluation this year than we had the joint practices with the LA Rams. And I think that the NFL, this is just my thoughts, everybody, kind of like policed themselves and said, you know what, let's just hold off on the Cowboys having these joint practices. Because you remember Aaron Donald was swinging his helmet at one of those players.
Yeah.
I forgot which name it was of one of the guys. So they trying to pull back all of that. We don't want any costly injuries here. But you got a great point on all of this, Boss Cowboy, about the differences between this offensive coordinator juxtaposed to what we had last year.
Well, and I'm also starting to look at it more situation by situation.
Right.
So if I look at it like what other teams are doing with joint practices, does those other teams have the number 1 top 2 defense?
No, they don't.
And so if I'm trying to get my guys prepared, why do I want my offense going against an inferior defense when you can go against the best every day? When you can go against Diggs and Stephon every day?
Every day.
It's almost like when you look at other people's situations, you'll be taken away from your practices by putting inferior people on my people.
True.
Then you also kind of add to the element of surprise.
Yep.
Intel.
Yep.
And then so it's like, so I can see why last year they was like, okay, we go do the joint. I can also see why you said this year we're not. And so it's one of those things to where I'm starting to kind of trust them, because it's another thing that I thought about.
What that?
Do you remember when Dak Prescott hurt his lat?
Yeah.
The most important thing that happened, now listen, the most important thing that happened was before he hurt his lat, Coach Mike McCarthy said, hey guys, talking to his coaching staff.
Yeah.
He said, I'm looking at the analytics on these guys. The rates are up.
Yeah.
So they have more data now and technology where they can actually read your levels of intensity to predict injury.
Hey man, prediction is a hell of a
And he
sport.
said before Dak hurt his lat, he said pull Dak back.
Pull him back.
That was the same day Dak was saying, I need to get in there. You remember that?
Yeah.
He went back in there against Mike McCarthy, reading the analytics.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Yeah.
He hurt his lat. So when I
started giving y'all the PC version of what he said, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's very PC. And I'm sorry for that light, y'all. It's just gonna be what it is. We kind of started the stream, but hey, just rock with us anyway.
Lean with it, rock with it.
Listen to the voice. Listen to the voice.
Remember,
it's just gonna be that.
But here's another thing that we were gonna talk about here before we get back to training camp and what we need to see today. Politics. You know where I'm going with it, right?
But I got some thoughts on that.
D-Ware in the Ring of Honor.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that.
We didn't touch that. Did you touch that independently?
I did.
You did?
I did.
What's your thoughts on DeMarcus Ware getting in before the guy that's pretty much responsible for 3 Super Bowls?
It hurt, man.
Jimmy Johnson, for those who don't know.
And I'm speaking as a fan, and I'm speaking as somebody that lived through the Jimmy era, that watched it. And it almost even takes away from D-Ware to me.
It do. It's like he could have literally added Jimmy and D-Ware at the same time, or add Jimmy and then add D-Ware the next year.
And and everybody, I saw people on Twitter saying, boss, well, it's business. He's getting publicity out of it.
He is.
Listen, he's a billionaire.
With a B.
So at some point, it start looking greedy. It start looking like, are you really going to sacrifice for publicity your college roommate that you went to Arkansas with and won a national championship with, who started the venture off with you? Now, I believe that y'all fight was nasty and probably unforgivable. I get it. But for the sake of the fans and the family, this is hurting us.
It hurt now because we grew up. We was younger watching that team. And we got a chance to see real coaching, real philosophies, real things being implemented to this day. They refer to Jimmy Johnson, and even all of those players, the players that he coached is in the ring, but the coach is not in the ring. It don't make sense. So whatever it is, it got to be personal right now. And it's something personal.
And on football, going back to football.
Right back to it.
For those who are fearful of the curse, right? Like, I'm not necessarily fearful for the curse, but I am superstitious at times. I ain't gonna lie.
You ain't gonna walk under no ladders. You ain't gonna just go bust some mirrors just to see what's gonna happen.
Right.
And you ain't finna go into a closed room with mirrors and just say Bloody Mary 5 times. You just ain't gonna tempt it.
I'm not gonna do it.
You just ain't gonna play around with fire.
No.
That's just what it is.
And so when you look at the Dez catch,
you're right.
When you look at 2016, when that field goal faded with no wind. You like, what kind of bad juju? It started looking kind of juju-ish, and it make you look at this Jimmy Jerry's Ring of Honor situation. I would want all the boxes checked in terms of preparing for this season because we have the coaching, we have the offense, the defense, the special teams. I even believe we got the kicker now from me watching them the last 3 days.
Aubrey been looking solid.
He been looking solid. I just think we checking all the boxes except the curse.
Except the curse, man. And last year, even when we were like pretty much started to do things the right way, even running the ball, because we said, Kellen Moore, come on, run the ball. Just when that started hitting right, all of a sudden Terrence Steele went down, right?
So
and that lose and lost a lot of momentum for us. And then we get into the playoff, we moving the ball, we went for it on 4th down, got the first down, moved the sticks, got all the way down to first and whatever. Tony Pollard get out. I'm not saying that it's a curse, but man, when you start looking over those things, you realize and saying, hey, you know, I'm from Mississippi. I'm only like 80 miles and 90 miles away from New Orleans. And they say you don't eat everybody's spaghetti, especially the ladies. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? So, you know what I'm talking about. There's some real stuff in this stuff, man. I'm just saying.
And see, that's the beauty of independence. We can have this conversation because, see, we just checking all the boxes, man.
We checking out everything, man. I'm just saying, man.
So the politics of it is ugly. I want it to cease. I don't care if you're making money off publicity.
Right.
It's like I'm the kid. I don't care why the parents are fighting. I love both of you.
Yeah.
I love both of you. You know, I don't. Mom and daddy stop fighting because I'm watching. You know, now if y'all behind the scenes hate each other, but in front of the kids, the fans of the kids, Jerry,
come on.
The fans
Jerry.
of the kids, Jerry, stop
Jerry.
fighting in front of the kids. It's looking this. It's embarrassing.
Yeah.
I can't go to school, Law.
Why you can't go to school?
I can't go to school. I got to see my friends, and they know that dad and mama been fighting.
They've been fighting, man. You know, and I believe the reason why y'all follow and support the nation is because we gonna tell y'all the truth. We ain't gonna sugarcoat it. We ain't gonna give y'all no bull sugar. We just gonna let you guys know that this is the truth right here. And they're gonna have to rectify that. But back to the Cowboys football, man.
Yeah.
Who you think is gonna be the impact player for the 2023 season?
I honestly think it's gonna be Micah Parsons.
Oh, you Parsons?
I think it's gonna be Micah Parsons. It's gonna be a battle between Micah Parsons and Dak.
Right.
But I think it's gonna be Micah Parsons because I really do believe that he is trying to be more than just a good football player. Mm-hmm. His goals are way higher than just I want to be the captain of the Cowboys. He's trying to take over the league. Mm-hmm. I think he has an incredible vision for what he wants to be in terms of his career. And when you mix that with going into year 3, bag year, also him having all this time to work on his hands. He was thrown in there as a rookie and was a fish, but now you actually propelled him with more skill. Okay. So he knows how to attack the tackles. He gonna know how to bend with the tackles, which he's already been doing. He's more familiar with Dan Quinn's defense. True. And most importantly, he's also already a favorite of the NFL.
Well, when you say that, so Parsons is going to be the most impactful guy out there. When you look at it, I look at this team on the defensive side, I really see no weakness. No. We have reservations. There's difference between weakness and reservation. Reservations, linebackers. We don't know how this thing going to really flow. But to the greatness of the goodness from Dan Quinn, we play too much, or we play so much double nickel anyway. Big nickel. Big nickel. So we will see, man, how this defense we're going to corral itself. But back to politics, what you do with Sam Williams?
Nothing. I tell Sam Williams, hey, man, get your firearm registered, grow up. But at the same time, man, I got your back, man. Go out there and play ball. I'm not going to make no big deal out of this because this is what I honestly feel. The law is stupid. The law is dumber than what he was. Because it's like in Texas, you can have one, but you go to jail if you have them together. It's goofy. Now, you're already moving towards laws that give you the right to, bear arms. You can go get a pistol, no problem, here in Texas. And they're starting to decriminalize marijuana. The league it's not punitive anymore. I want Jerry to do exactly what he did with his message and ignore it. That's what he was saying. Man, I ain't dealing with this. Like if he didn't do anything to a woman, if he didn't do anything to a kid, if he didn't hurt anybody, and if he didn't take any steroids or anything,
and whatever he didn't allow him to miss practice. And he was there too. He was there all this week. He was practicing all this week. Hard too.
I'm not saying. Listen, I'm gonna just tell him, man, you're a Cowboy. You should know better. You should know. You're a celebrity. As a celebrity, you got to move different. You can't just get in your car like you're going down the street to go see Bobo. You got to treat this like, hey, I'm a celebrity, so I'm gonna put my marijuana pen down, and I'm gonna keep my pistol, or I'm gonna take my pistol and put the marijuana down. It needs to be something, because if I get stopped, it's gonna be national news.
It is.
So, but other than him and his football, I would say this to you, Sam. Play ball, boss Cowboy, don't care at all. Even a little bit, I don't really give, honestly, not one damn about it. Do your thing, play free, ball out versus the Raiders. Boss don't give one damn.
Not one. And do me a huge favor. Shout out to West Coast Cowboys.
Oh, what's up, Wes? I see Wes in the building.
Yes, you did. Shout out to Wes. Shout out to you, Mike, Anthony Gallo. Appreciate y'all, man. If y'all can hit that like button, share this content. Let's continue to share and grind. But I got one thing that I want Sam Williams to do.
Okay.
Listen to Christopher Carter. He said, that Chris Carter said, Hey, find you a fall guy, man.
Yeah.
You know, he should have said it off the record.
Yeah.
He didn't know he was going to go viral.
Yeah.
But he's spitting nothing but the truth. All of these boys need them a fall guys.
Yeah.
They need them one. We got a super chat from Queen. Yes, indeed. I don't know. She's a queen to be.
Appreciate super chat,
Appreciate you, Queen. She says, I'm disappointed in Parsons with the punching. I mean, he learned. Parsons learned. That was a mistake that he made, and he's been solid all through this training camp.
Yeah.
You know, he ain't punching nobody no more.
And man, you know, I'm a little old school.
Yeah.
And I talked to Tyler Biotis about this yesterday. I said, man, they wanted revenge on you. And I get it. That just means that they was really getting after it at practice.
They was.
They was getting after this and what happened. And then, you know, and Tyler was like, listen, I'm going to protect my guys. They go protect their guys. That's one of the reasons maybe you won't join practices. That's maybe. Because well, you can have a joint enemy. Yeah. You can have a joint enemy now. Yeah. Because right now they pent up. They want to.
I'm gonna tell you,
it's the sport. I'm cool with it as long as he didn't hurt his hand. Don't do it again, though.
1,000%. A joint practice, there would have been no holds barred with Parsons. Literally nobody can stop him. Right hand to the man. Nobody can stop him. I know some people gonna say about X, Y, and Z. He got bend, he got speed, he got hand technique now and hand placement. His get off is fast. Dan Quinn can move him. You don't want to give away all of the plan, but Dan Quinn can move that brother everywhere and anywhere on that field. Parsons is the cheat code, bro.
Yeah. Now he gonna be the cheat code. Yeah. I think it go battle. I think it's, you know how they were saying in 2016, this Zeke team or that team. I think it's gonna be that this year. I think Micah go make that big of an impact. Cause like he has so many sacks, man, and I'm talking about he cleaning up out here, man. Like, don't put any kind of inferior player in front of him. He gonna demolish him. The only people that's gonna have chances is the Lane Johnsons, them, man. If you not Lane Johnson,
and there's only one lane,
and it's only one lane.
Who's gonna be on the other side? Because the person that's also wrecking this thing is the guy by the name of not DeMarcus Webb, but a DeMarcus Lawrence. Hey, when he going, look out for him though this year.
And then to your point, it was very refreshing to hear Mike McCarthy say that the player that he was the most impressed with was Tank going into training. So like when Tank will sneak up on you. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like Tank. Especially when Mike McCarthy, like out of all these years I've been here, he is more ready than he's ever been. That's scary for the league. Cause what if, let's just try to put our minds on this. Because you know a lot of people like to say he washed up. Yeah. But we saw Quinn return. What if DeMarcus Lawrence goes back to even partially what made him the top free agency in football, mixed with Micah Parsons in year 3? What's going to happen?
It's over, man. And we've seen bits and pieces of it. When you're talking about a guy that can destroy someone one-on-one, because that was the deal. Yeah. We always said, man, if Law can have someone inside, if Law can have someone on the opposite side to get back and get busy with it, you know. And now he got all of that. Last year, believe it or not, he was responsible for us single-handedly beating the LA, picking up scoop and score. And he was responsible for us beating the Lions, by the way, slapping that dude and having the ball fall on the ground. And he was laid out like Family Guy. So that dude was responsible. That's D-Law. But a lot of people, they want to look at the total sack numbers. But when D-Law was out there, either he's causing fumbles, INTs,
stopping the run,
takeaways, tackles for loss,
leadership. And see the leadership. Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that. See, because I know a lot of the Cowboy fan base don't like the high balls. They hate to hear it, but I hope y'all ain't peep game. High balls never died. It just, they stopped doing it publicly. It is a standard for the defense that Tank started. So you got to get into the high bars. So and they take that real serious, and it was Tank who started that culture, and it's why they so turned up. Do you remember they was competing 2 years ago for turnovers versus points? Tank started that.
Scoop and score.
So it's like when people take for granted it's not even just a player tank.
Yeah.
He one of the real true leaders of this squad.
Squad up, baby.
So
in closing though, man, what's your final words on this before we head into practice today?
My major thing I would say, man, listen, y'all, they go hate on Mazi. I saw people in your comments and in my comments saying, what's up with Mazi? Listen, y'all, Mazi has literal no pressure. Yeah. I want everybody to really try to feel me what I'm saying on that. There's no pressure. We don't even need Mazi right now. Right. Just think about that. We had Hankins last year. It was the main reason we was averaging a yard less when he was on the field.
Right.
So Quinn Bohanna is going into year 3.
Right.
Mazi is a luxury.
Yeah.
So when he plays, he's going to be fresh.
Yep.
He's hungry. He does play mad. I saw him sling deuce like, bro, don't do deuce like that.
You don't do him like that.
Yeah, he slung deuce. He does play angry, but we honestly got to give him the same thing we give all defensive tackles. Give them 3 years, man. Like, all of them take 3 years. Mazi is going to flash at best. And sometimes he's going to look great. Sometimes he's going to look like he's slow, get off, got turned, live with it, let him cook. He going to be fine.
Yeah, and technique is technique, man. Every year you're going to build your house. You're stacking your bricks on top of each other. And then when you look back, now you at your castle, you know.
Yep.
But for year 1, I just want him to just learn the game.
Yeah.
He got to wash away all of the old stuff that the Michigan people taught him and build in some of this new stuff that Durden is talking. Even if he have to off season next year to meet up with our guy Brandon Tucker, you know, hand placement, disengaging, stuff like that. He's going to get the right ingredients and the nutrients to be that interior defensive threat.
Yep.
But the good thing is, like I'm going to say, echoing off of you, it's no rush.
There's no rush.
He's a third person. He's a third person. He's going to elevate himself up to be the number 1.
And he going to be fresh every time he out there. You're going to get good plays out of Mazi. You're going to get great plays out of Mazi. Like,
yes, indeed.
Cowboy Nation, they go hate on us. It's just what it is. Like, there's no other D tackle that they ever expected to be instant impact coming into game 1.
No doubt.
None. So anyway, that's my final words.
That's his final word. My final word is, hey, continue to hit that like button, tell it to lean forward, slap it. Y'all know what to do with it. Sharing is caring. Shout out to all of the HBOs. If you don't know what that is, help a brother out. You know what that means. Sharing is caring. And also subscribing and join those notifications because you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
This wasn't even scheduled. I just met this dude. What's your name, bro? I just met this dude.
I go by boss. I go by boss.
Yeah.
Hey, but we get ready to head into practice. So we wanted to give y'all a little bit before we get in there, and we will come out and give you some more.
We'll give y'all some more. All that mama's cooking. Let's go. DC for life, not for short. Salute. Good show, bro.
Yeah.
Good show, man. Good show, man.